All right, we're back with our next project, and this time we're going to be building a learning list database inside of Notion. So this could be a database where you save all the types of different resources that you want to learn about. So for example, it could be blog posts, YouTube videos, online courses, podcasts, books, basically everything, so that you have one place where you can track what you have read, what you have watched, what you enjoyed, and so on. So making your learning much easier. You could also do this for university or for college to track kind of your learning progress there. So let's dive right into the project. And again, we'll be starting off on our homepage, and here we'll go to the learning list that we created in the previous video. Here we can add a database again. So this is going to be a table, and it's going to be a new database. So click on new database, and we'll call this learning list, like that. And then give it like a notebook, like a just book. Yeah, get the red book again. Perfect. So we have a table view. We also want to have a list view. And this is going to be called our our currently learning view. So this is where we'll see all the things that we are working on currently. And then lastly, we will have a gallery, and this is going to be our favorites gallery. So this is where you can see all the favorites that you have, like that. Perfect. Now back to the table. Here we need to add some additional properties. So we will add something called the status, but we can actually use the default tags for this. So let's just rename these tags, and let's say status, turn this into a select, and then we'll say not started. We'll have started, and we'll have finished. Oops, it didn't create not started, sorry, like that. Because we actually want to kind of be able to tell if we have started something already, if we started watching a course, if we started reading a book, and so on, to basically determine what we're currently learning. And let's actually change these colors up, because it doesn't make that much sense this way. I want the finished to be the green, sorry. And then we'll make this purple. And now the hierarchy should be like that. So we would have not started, started, and then finished. Perfect. So this is our status, and we can leave it like that. Then we will have one property for the favorites. So we'll just call this favorites, or like favorite, question mark. And this will just be a checkbox. So this will help us determine which of the items on this list are our favorites, and then we can add those to the favorites view over here. So that's something we'll do later as well. Now we'll add two more properties to make it easier for you to filter through your database. So the first one is going to be the medium. So this is going to be what type of resource is this, right? Is this a blog post? Is it a, I don't know, like a YouTube video? So this is what we're going to do in here. Let's call it one blog post. We'll have video. We'll have podcast. Maybe we have course, and maybe we have something like workshop, I don't know, and like book. That's something we can also add. So these would be all the different types of mediums that we could have in this scenario, and so you can actually filter through your database based on what medium you have later. And lastly, let's also add a category. So let's say you're working in some field and you want to study different things that interest you. For example, if you are into digital marketing, you might want to learn about SEO, but you also might want to learn about paid advertising. You might want to learn about email marketing, and so on. So let's pretend that you do work in digital marketing, and let's do it like that so that we can actually see how this would work. So in this case, I want to use the multi-select because there might be multiple topics for one resource. So one course might be about search engine optimization, and it might also be about paid advertising. So we wouldn't want to be able to add multiple categories to one resource. And yeah, let's actually add those. So we'll have SEO, we'll have email marketing, we'll have paid advertising, maybe content marketing as a more general term, and then maybe also affiliate marketing, like that. So these will be our categories, and they're not too important for now. We'll just remove some of them to fit it in here. Perfect. But now we actually do have the basic structure for our learning list database in place. Obviously, you can choose something else for these because, again, it totally comes down to you. I'm just making up examples on the fly so that we can do something that's at least to some degree meaningful and makes sense. Lastly, I'm just going to add a URL property. So this will be just the URL for the resource. Then I'm going to add some demo data in here. And again, I'm not going to show you how I do this because it's going to be boring for you. But you could actually also just add in your content by, for example, adding in things that you like. If you change the properties to things that actually apply to you, then you could now use something like the Notion Web Clipper to add in content to this database. All right, so now I added this demo data to the database. And now we're ready to work on the other database views as well. You can also, if you want to, apply sorts and filters to this view, but we're not going to do that for now. You should know how to do that by now. If not, go back to the filtering and sorting video. It's really easy, so you'll figure it out in like 5 minutes, really. All right, so let's go to the currently learning list. Now this is our list view. And here we actually want to apply a filter because this should not show the ones that we have finished, for example. It also shouldn't show the ones that we haven't even started yet. So in this case, we want to filter for the status and want the status to be started. So these are all the things that we started learning about, or that we have started learning about and that we haven't finished yet. Next, we want to go to the favorites view, and this is where we can showcase our favorites. I chose a more visual look here as well because I want this to be kind of like a highlight gallery of the most important resources that you have in this database. And so to actually give it some use, we are again going to apply filters. And in this case, we probably need a more advanced filter because we want to filter, first of all, for the status. So we want the status to be finished, because how can something be a favorite of yours if you haven't even really finished it yet? At least in my opinion, you can obviously change that. But I'd say that you should have finished it in order for the resource to become your favorite. And then we'll add another filter rule here as well. And in this case, we want to check if it's a favorite. So we want favorite is checked. Oops, and not unchecked. We want it to be checked. So now we only see the database entries where we finished the resource, and we also checked the database property that is one of our favorites. So these are like the highlights of the things you learned, and you can go back to them through this view. Now, as a challenge, you can actually try to add another database view to this database. And this view could actually be a board view where you group by the topic of the resource that you have. So you would have one column for the social media marketing and one column for the email marketing and so on. So yeah, try to do that on your own. And then I'm quickly going to show you how you could do that if you didn't figure out how to do it on your own. All right, so let's do it together. And again, it's really, really easy. I just wanted to, basically give you a little bit of a challenge, but I think it's pretty easy. So you just have to choose the board view when you create a new view, and then you are almost there. One thing you can do is now go back into the settings and then go into group, because currently it's actually grouped by this status, but we want to group it by something else, which is our category. And now we already have it working exactly how we want it to. It's grouped by the category and gives us a nice different way of looking at our data. All right, that's it for this project. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you also enjoyed the really small challenge at the end. In the next section of the course, we're going to be taking a look at some more advanced features of Notion. So I hope you're enjoying the course so far, and see you there.